tweaking process of the mesh belt idea. The main problem I have is, I mean, although it goes on relatively quickly, it can also come off when I least expect it, particularly when the whole thing is put on its side. So this whole midsection is stored on its side. There is the problem where, because it's only this mesh belt is only held on with gravity, it literally will just fall off and clatter on the floor like somebody's trousers are falling down. So that is a little bit annoying. So I need to figure out a way of fastening it on with some clips or something. Maybe one at the front and one at the back, possibly. I'm not quite sure. So I've just been toying around with some ideas, quick release systems, to make sure that it kind of stays on and doesn't fall off, and is just a bit more reliable. So I've got these old. I'm coming back to this idea of using these mouse traps again, and maybe just using the springs and that to make a fastening clip. So I chopped up some conduit, which is the stuff, conduit cover, and put a length of it underneath a mouse trap mechanism attached to my belt, my mesh belt idea. And it basically just does that. It's like a quick release mechanism with a little stopper thing on the end of it, which is what this L-shaped thing is. And that just the whole thing basically grips onto the upper collar in such a way that it stops the whole thing coming off. So if I demonstrate, so it basically just goes on like so. And if I tug at it and pull at it, it won't come off. Which means if the whole section is taken off the Dalek and somebody turns it upside down to put it in a van, then it's less likely that this mesh belt is going to come off. All you do is just push the clip to take it off again. So it's a very simple idea. It took a while to figure it out, but it works. It's doing the trick. If I can just get in there and film it with a bit more clarity. So here it is here, and it's literally just coming off like that kind of thing, and then just securing on there like so, so it doesn't come off. The bottom is gripping onto the underside of the collar, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just try something like that. I'll maybe just try one at the front and one at the back of the mesh belts, and just see if I need any more. I don't know if I'd need one in the middle as well, possibly. I don't know, but probably. But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably going to be the best way to make sure that the mesh belt doesn't fall off accidentally and stuff during various moving around in vans and things for exhibitions or whatever. So I think that's going to be the next thing to do. Alright, so the main problem I have at the moment is trying to hold these mesh belts on with any degree of security, because the minute I start storing the midsection on its side on my trusty polystyrene block, which I use to store it with, the mesh belt keeps falling off because it's only held on with gravity. So that is a bit of a problem, and it's only marginally held on. But what I have been working on is this mousetrap mechanism clip-on idea. So it's basically a part of a mousetrap, and that just basically clips on and holds in place like that. So I've been working on the other mesh belt and just trying to get that idea to work. So there's one there, it's just held on with some zip ties, and there's one there on the end doing the same job, and I'm just working on this middle one at the moment. So it's just a piece of conduit that I've chopped up, and that acts as the kind of mandible part, which goes underneath the the mousetrap spring, and just basically just goes underneath like that, and then I can secure it with some zip ties because I made some little holes in it. Basically it just does that kind of thing, and I can basically just thread on some zip ties, and they would go in the holes, and that would hold it on, and that's it. And then 3 of those should do the trick to hold the whole mesh belt on. And there's a quick release mechanism that should do the job. That's the mesh belt attached with the clips. So I put the whole thing upside down just to demonstrate that it is holding on with these clip ideas that I made. So just the whole mesh belt is held on with several of these clips. So 1/2 of the mesh belt is held on with 3 of these clip ideas made from mouse straps. So does the trick. It's not coming off, as you can see. It's looking pretty good, and that's one side, so I still need to make the other side, but that's not going to come off basically unless I want it to, so that's a good thing, which is handy for restoration and paint jobs and other things. So jobs are good. Quick stack to marvel at what I've done so far. Like I say, it's really good to do these little stacks just to see how things are coming along, and it keeps my interest in what I'm doing. And it helps me stop getting bogged down in too many details, so I can just look at the whole thing in overall, and just see what else needs to be adjusted or changed or whatever. So anyway, the mesh belt is done, more or less. A few tweaks maybe, but beyond that it's done. But there's still loads to do on this Dalek, and it's mainly practical stuff now. Most of the aesthetics are nearly finished. I still need to make a new base for it, because I'm borrowing this base off an LSD that I have. But yeah, I'm still yeah, it's an ongoing project basically. I'm hoping to get it finished this summer, but you know, it really depends on the weather and all sorts of other factors. I need to put a seat inside it, and electronics for the dome lights. I need to get some new casts of the dome lights, and just various bits and bobs really. The voice changer as well, which I'm humming and hawing about. Should I buy a Marsh mod or an MK6? What's going to be the better option? Stuff like that. But yeah, still got lots to do. I still haven't fixed the dome to the body yet, and the eye stalk is not pivoted yet, so I need to pivot the eye stalk and get that working, and to wire up the eye stalk and get the light in the eye working, the iris. So yeah, just tons of stuff to do really. I've just been cobbling everything together, and now it's just a question of refining what I've done. You know, getting the sink plunger on to work, for example, and replacing this white plastic with black plastic, and just getting things to kind of come together a bit better. And yeah, just lots of little bits now, and yeah, and then it's just a question of doing a test run. So at some point in the summer, I'll find a likely suspect to operate the Dalek, and then we can film it and have a bit of fun, and see how we get on with it.